Hello, Tim from Fair Play now on the 21st of August 2024. So I came across something really interesting today, and it's something called the Million Leaflet campaign. And basically, as the name suggests, the aim is to get a lot of leaflets out there, out and about, into ordinary sort of people's hands and homes, to tell them what the truth is, because especially with the events over the last few weeks, let alone what's gone on with all the censorship before that, the concern is now that the government and the powers that shouldn't be are going to ramp up censorship even more online. So what's the best way to sort of get around that? Well, just to go offline, and you do that usually, using leaflets, and it's a tried and proven method. It was actually used extensively during the Second World War by both the Allied and Axis forces, where they dropped leaflets with the truth, or at least their versions of the truth, onto sort of enemy populations, and they were able then to sort of pick up these leaflets and read about a perspective that differed from that of their own government, and then it was up to those people to draw their own conclusions, which is really what it should be all about anyway. We shouldn't be constrained by government narratives, mainstream media narratives. We should be given all of the facts from both sides and left to our own devices to come to our own conclusions, shouldn't we? So, and if we can't do that online, maybe going offline with leaflets is the way to go. So this Million Leaflet Challenge, it's on Telegram. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below here, so you can get both the PDFs for these leaflets. Basically, they're available in both colour and black and white versions, and I'll also give you a link that they give in the description box below here, where you can get them printed. So you can get them printed, maybe just a handful of them to give to friends and family, or maybe if you really want to go for it, hundreds or even thousands of them to distribute all over the place. But these leaflets are really, really good quality. The wording on them really does give some real truth bombs, and I'll just read out one for you now, just to give you a flavour of what they're like. So this one is entitled "Global Government Closes In." We live in an age of global government led by organisations such as the EU, the UN, the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization, where we don't get a say. The UN has proposed a pact for the future, which claims that we are confronted by risks, most of which seem to be concocted climate and health emergencies. CO2 is only 0.04% of the atmosphere and is vital to all life on Earth. Between the year 2000 and 2019, 1.1% of the UK population died annually. In 2020, the lurgy year, only 1% died. There was no lethal lurgy-demic in 2020. The biggest risk humanity faces is a totalitarian world government from which there is no escape. Contact all politicians, media and friends. Tell them that this is totally unacceptable. Start a local campaign. So yeah, pretty succinct, to the point, and hard-hitting, wouldn't you say? And it's exactly right. I would sort of 100% agree with those things. The thing about the CO2 being such a tiny sort of proportion of the atmosphere, and that it's vital to life, and in fact we could easily double that percentage figure. Yeah, 0.004% could easily double, and there would be no detriment, and in fact the plants of the world would be flourishing, and the only effect that you'd see personally probably would be that instead of your tomato plants out there on your sort of back patio only grow into, what do they normally grow up to, 6 foot or so, they'd probably grow to about 10 foot high, and the tomatoes would probably be twice as big. So that is really the only sort of effect you'd get from CO2, I would say. And then what they go on to say as well about the death figures between 2000 and 2019, and then in 2020 it was 0.1% less, when there was supposedly a deadly lurgy knocking around, is also 100% true. That is actually a government statistic from the Office of National Statistics. That wasn't just dreamt up by some bunch of conspiracy theorist people somewhere who just want to spread mischief. That is actual government data. So, and yet there's people up and down the country who still believe in this nonsense. So again, in conclusion, the conclusion that this leaflet draws is one that I actually mentioned this to my brother and a mate. I had a conversation with him in the pub after a round of golf probably about 18 months ago, and my brother's really fully on board with the whole lurgy nonsense, the climate nonsense, and he was sort of saying how he's so worried about the future with all of the climate emergency and all of the rest of it. And I just said, mate, you know, you're literally worrying about the wrong thing. You know, there is no threat from the climate thing. There is no threat from sort of so-called health emergencies. The only threat we face is from the powers that shouldn't be, who are hell-bent on a world totalitarian government, and that is the thing we need to fear. That is the thing that is threatening our futures and our children's and grandchildren's futures, not the so-called emergencies that the powers that shouldn't be would have you believe are around. So anyway, that is a really good leaflet, and if you want to check out this campaign, Million Leaflet campaign, like I say, I'll put all the details in the description box below, and if you want to go out there and get some printed up and start sort of truth bombing, as it were, by all means go for it. And I think it's looks like a really good campaign, and all the leaflets are already written for you, designed for you. All you need to do is get some printed, then get out there and distribute them. So just some thoughts there, and I wanted to alert you to this campaign if you want to check it out, and I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.